We are Novi HOSA Health Education Team 6, and each of us will now explain our portfolio and presentation process, as well as our contributions to the project. Two of my contributions to the portfolio were curating the reference page and helping write and present the presentation to our audience. The goals of our topic were to have our audience be able to assess a scene and recognize when it is appropriate to get involved, identify a severe bleed, translate key information to an emergency dispatcher, and finally, how to treat a severe bleed. We believe that by giving kids this information, we would empower them in the face of an otherwise overwhelming situation. During our research process, we found one similarity with all the sources. The ability to understand hemorrhage control is the #1 way to stop preventable deaths. By giving middle schoolers this first aid skill, we are giving them the chance to save a life in the many different emergency situations they could experience in their lifetime.
My contribution to my group was assisting with the presentation as well as presenting. I also helped research and write the narrative portion of the portfolio. We thought that we should teach middle school students from the ages 12 to 13 hemorrhage control because in modern day America, there's a dismally high chance that children attending school will be involved in some sort of school shooting in their lifetime. This is very tragic, but they could be the essential help that paramedics need to possibly save one of their fellow students' lives. Later in their lives, the chance of emergency situations doesn't get any less common. These students could witness or be involved in car accidents that may need immediate medical attention. This crucial information could be used in another mass shooting when they begin adulthood. Just in 2019 alone, 417 mass shootings occurred in the United States. And in those 417, 15,208 people lost their lives. We realized that teaching children what to do in these emergency situations could be very essential in a life-threatening mass shooting, car accident, or school shooting. That's why our presentation focuses specifically on isolating a wound until emergency services arrive.
For the presentation portion, we intentionally ordered the slideshow to match the sequential action steps of hemorrhage control so it would be easy for students to follow. Since everything is virtual this year, we were not able to teach in person, but instead we held a video conference over Zoom with 26 participants for a duration of 22 minutes. My role was reaching out to middle school teachers. I prepared most of the slideshow and then presented the first few slides to the class. To simulate an in-class experience, we used a Pear Deck presentation so students could interact with the slides to communicate their understanding. Some of the interactive slides allowed them to circle potential hazards in a scene and drag an icon to answer a few questions. To see if our teaching methods were effective, we gave a pre and post assessment in a Google form, and Shrieker will share those results.
My contribution to the group was assisting in the creation of the lesson plan and narrative. I also made the pre and post test that was used to measure the growth of the students in our lesson. I calculated the mean, median, and mode and made a bar graph of the results of the test. When looking at the results, we can see that students did learn about hemorrhage control because the mean score went up from 2.5 to 4.27 out of 5 points.